Phone community, it's Mike here. Now, I wasn't going to do a video this week, but then I saw a response to a thread by Ramod, French vinyl addict, and it was a response to a thread that was started by a guy called Richard S. Now, Richard is very new to the VC. He only has, I think, 4 videos so far, and one of them is his thread. And what he wants us to do is to show 5 albums that define our record collection. And I think that's not that easy because 5 isn't very many, and to define your whole record collection in just 5 albums is really sort of saying something, isn't it? But anyway, I had to think about it, and I've come up with 5. So here goes. So first off, it's the music that I was listening to most in the early 70s. Now, the early 70s really defined my musical taste, I think, because it was when I first started buying records that, you know, my mates at school, we were all talking about music, about the charts, about albums. And yeah, there were 2 genres in particular. The first one was prog rock. And this is Fragile by Yes, as you can see. And I think nothing defines British prog rock of the 1970s as much as a Roger Dean cover. So this is 1971, and there you go. It's got a booklet that's sort of glued into the middle of the gatefold here. And yeah, it's a really good album. On the Atlantic label, they are the red and purple Atlantic label. And, you know, tracks on this album are really fantastic. You got Roundabout, and side 2 is really good. Long Distance Runaround is on there, Mood for a Day, Heart of the Sunrise. It's a really good prog album. And as I say, you know, prog rock was a big thing for me in the early 1970s, and it still is to a certain extent. But the other genre that I really liked is glam rock, and I use the term sort of quite loosely. And I'm going to show you these guys. National treasures in the UK, Slade, and their 1972 album Slade. And these guys, probably more rock than they are glam, but they're absolutely fantastic. And I never ever tire of listening to a Slade album or a Slade single, or indeed anything by Slade. And as you can see, it's on the Polydor label. And tracks on here, you got How Do You Ride, The Whole World's Going Crazy, Look at Last Night, I Won't Let It Happen Again, Goodbye to Jane, Goodbye, Goodbye, the fantastic Mama We're All Crazy Now. And I actually finish with a cover, Let the Good Times Roll. And this is an absolutely brilliant album. But as I say, I really loved glam rock back in the early 70s. And I think Slade kind of defined that era for me. Right, but the genre that I've got more albums of than just about anything else is punk rock. You know, in the late 76, listened to John Peel. I fell in love with punk rock, and I'll show you these guys, Buzzcocks. There's all sorts of bands I could have shown you, the Ruts, Sham 69, then Sex Pistols, obviously, you know, Clash, Undertones, all sorts of brilliant British punk bands of the 1970s. And this is Love Bites, as I say, by the Buzzcocks. This is the second album, 1978. I mean, the first 3 albums that are all absolutely superb. And it's on the United Artists label. And I'll show you the inner there. There you go. There's a kind of a little poster thing there. And then it's on the United Artists label. There you go, side 2 and side 1. And yeah, I mean, what have we got on here? ESP, I love that. Love Is Lies, Walking Distance, Break for the Train, Never Fall Fallen in Love. You know, it's brilliant. It's an absolutely brilliant album, and I really love punk rock. As I say, I still buy punk albums now. I still buy a lot of punk singles. So that's my third one. It's punk rock and represented by the Buzzcocks here and Love Bites. So another sort of music that I have quite a lot of in my collection is French pop music from the 1960s, early 1970s. And I thought I'd represent that with this Serge Gainsbourg's album, Histoire de Meldinas. And this is a reissue, and it's a double album, nice sort of gatefold. So you've got the original album, and then the second album is taken from the Melody Nelson sessions, and it's virtually a replay of the studio album, and it's really good. But you know, I really love French pop music. You know, particularly the Yeah Yeah Girls, people like Françoise Hardy, France Gall, Sylvie Vartan, and I know she's not French, but she was certainly adopted by France, and that's the lovely Jane Birkin. So that's my fourth album, which is Serge Gainsbourg, Histoire de Melody Nelson, that's representing the French pop music in my collection. And finally, I thought I'd show you something new. It's an album from this year, and I'm always buying, you know, new music, always looking for something new. And I love Americana as well. And I'm sure this album will be in my top 20 if I do one at the end of the year. And it's Hooray for the Riff Raff, which is a project of Alinda Sagara, and that's a picture of her there. And it's called The Past Is Still Alive. And it's a brilliant album, as are all of Hooray for the Riff Raff's albums. As I say, it's Americana, it's new music, it's really great, and yeah, so that represents my love of Americana and my continuing search for new music. So that's my five. So I'll leave a link to Richard S. and his video, and I'll leave a link to French Vinyl Addict's response as well. So please sort of go over to both their channels, and if you're not subscribed already, give them a subscription. I'm sure it'll make their day. And so until next time, I'll see you. Bye bye.